Okay, so first portfolio. We've got four today. There are two that will be calls, and then the first one and the last one will be just um, you know another recording portfolio review. So these ones are full, and you have to apply for these. So if we look at if I put that command in there, you can see the link there. But let's check this out. Okay, you guys see that? Okay. Oh, I'm in a weird spot. Where do I? I'll just hide down here. Uh, I don't know. I'm probably an Amrit Kirpal. I think you're in chat as well. But so your portfolio, you're sitting in the 3D generalist territory. Salad, dude. Amrit, that's an amazing Twitch. That's a great Twitch name. But yeah, let's take a look here. So you're saying 3D generalist, which man, I remember there was a time when being called a generalist, people got mad about it. They're like, "Oh, I'm not a," because it implied that uh, you weren't good at anything. But the reality is a good generalist is they can help like row the boat from like different positions of the ship. You know what I mean? If you want to look at it like that. So I'm glad that that's kind of gone away. So what we're seeing here is we see what looks like five, six ish weapons, in a building, an office building that looks like it says whip. So I'm gonna assume it's work in progress still, and then a weakling. Why is he a weakling? It feels bad. But yeah, so this is 5 years ago. We've got 3 years ago, 3 years, a year, 2 months ago, and then now we're looking at this one, which is 21 days ago. He skips arm day. He skips close day too, man. Um, yeah. So when I look at your portfolio, quality wise, where I think it's dipping the most is in characters. Um, and of course, like you only have one in here. If you were to remove this, it would immediately increase the quality of your portfolio. And when it comes to the weapons, just at least when I look at the thumbnails, the weapons look pretty good. I'm not a weapons artist, of course, but the weapons look pretty good. And when you go to like more sci-fi like weapons, it's automatically in for my eyes, it's harder. It's harder for the it's harder to imply the quality. Whereas like you see familiar shapes with real weapons, and you can understand what you're looking at. Whereas like this becomes much more design centric, and the way that you texture it uh, plays a bigger role, I think, in the overall sci-fi feel. You have this just for the lulz, is that? I That's amazing. That's so you're not scared about that being in your portfolio affecting your ability to get a job. That's super interesting. I mean, that's like to have that type of what do you call that? That's one hell of a flex. So, I would remove this just so that your portfolio is shining more in the territory. You'll hide it later. Okay. I mean, people are always looking, right? But I guess you could hide it whenever you want. Um, let's go ahead and look at these weapons. No. Yeah, I'll talk about what's going on tomorrow, uh, and why the portfolio streams are today after we get through all the portfolios. But I mean, in general, the weapons look all right. I'm wondering if Defcon's in here because he might have something to say. I think since it's 3 years ago, just noting that the geometry and the way it's modeled, as well as the materials, are very they're not very accurate with the PBR settings. I like the skin for the sniper rifle. That's cool. But yeah, it looks like some of the base modeling has been understood. Man, there's a lot of different weapons in here. That's quite interesting. Customizable weapons. These weapons are highly inspired by Rainbow Six Siege. The attachment ability, skin system, all customizable. Um, all of them customizable can be in UE4 in real time. Oh, and you got the marketplace link as well. I mean, it's really cool, and it's pretty impressive that you're able to get it all pushed to the marketplace. Um, so this one's also 3 years ago. This also is a pack of different weapons. So you are making a lot of different weapons, which is cool. You are storing them as packs in your portfolio, and I think really kind of displaying them all would be better, and really show like how much weapons you're working on. Steady, what's up, man? If that makes sense. So splitting these up, I mean, you would go from like 1, 2, 3. So instead of one post, you've got 3 posts. Like, people want to see the wireframes. They want to see your flats. They want to see your textures, how you're setting everything up. And with this one here, I don't even know how many are in here. But I guess because it's a marketplace asset, I would still separate them out. Like, oh, I keep clicking that guy. I would have the first image be like all of them, or like somewhere where all of them are together, so that there's so much less scrolling, right? The other thing is the background. I think the background's all right. It's not just black, which is good. It's got some gradient, some information back there. I'm a big fan of information that's back there and then blurred, because then it really kind of looks like you're focusing on the object in a scene. But again, I feel like the materials are where it's at its weakest currently. Ah, Florin. Okay, Florin, you're in. We're gonna have a call, dude. You're Kirk. This is good to know. I noted. But yeah, it's materials. I think that's where things are kind of breaking down. So advanced weapon pack showcase. So this, I remember critiquing this, and I find this one quite interesting. This is a more of a modular gun again. I didn't know that you can. Hey Eric, how you doing? I didn't know that you could connect these like this. I found that really strange when I first saw it. I have no idea if that's a real thing, to extend the barrel like that. I mean, maybe that's the case. It seems dangerous. Hey Laura, it's good to see you. And again, there's some other guns in here, and we're not seeing wireframes, or like, your materials are getting better, but it's still, edges are very sharp. Softening those up will allow for it to look a little bit more machined, but still readable and not low poly. Dang, look at that attachment. Some of these feel very strange. Like, this feels super odd to me. And maybe that's just me. But the other thing I would say is the contrast of your roughness between the different materials is very similar. Like, there's not too much of a contrast, so you're not getting, like, here you can see a little bit of a difference. And I like this like extra level of detail on the roughness to kind of show the machining of the metal itself, and then this like micro detail, normal looking stuff that's here. Again, I feel like you need wireframes and or flat texture maps to just show like how this is all being put together. And then the sci-fi weapon, is it just one? No, it's a pistol as well, and a knife. See, I would show these, like, it's interesting that you're zoomed in on this, and I like all the little details that you're doing. This is the perfect opportunity to have completely different roughness types, where like this little screen could be super reflective in your roughness. And presenting all of them together would be really good. I think this type of zoomed in detail is nice, but shouldn't be the first image you show. Should be like you go overall scene or overall asset, and then you get into like the smaller pieces of it, the wireframe, what the UVs and the flat textures look like. But from what I'm seeing right now, with the stuff we've gone through, if this isn't going to be here, then right now you're not so much of a generalist and more so like really interested in weapons. I think generalists, or saying that you're a 3D generalist, really will show when you start to like, oh, how do you like processing scanned assets and getting those into a scene, building an environment, building props, then building weapons. Here's a tank, like, kind of hopping around and showing a lot of different things. Your thumbnails, I think, are all right. There's some like this stuff here. You got a tangent line here, where the barrel is basically touching the edge of the thumbnail, and like this is really close to the edge. This is clipped here. Usually, I just say zoom right in, right? So, like if you were to take this image here and copy it, you could zoom that right into your right into the thumbnail and get the details like you're doing here. This is good thumbnail material because this will make someone click. They want to see more, right? Like this isn't close enough for me for a thumbnail. There's been some ideas that I've had in the back of my head. I've said this on stream a couple times, and I want to say it with other people as well, and just keep saying it, that just because this thumbnail, like this is a pack, right? This is a image pack or a weapons pack. You could take all of those, split them up, but get them near each other, and then just build a, like, okay, 1, 2, 3 weapons, right? Build a thumbnail that matches the size of 3 thumbnails and display those 3 weapons on the 3 thumbnails like they're all one image. You know what I mean? And then when you click either one of them, they all go to the same image set. Like that sounds so cool, and I don't see it ever. Like no one does that. Of course, like if you get on the phone, right, it'll clip. But yeah, I think I have you can see the magic. You can see how I do these. Let me close that. And close this one when it's done. Ooh. Let me do this. I'm just gonna grab the edge here as well. The graphic designer, get out of here. New file, clipboard, yes. Yes, please. Let me just move this over here and just paste. Cool. Yeah, so if you go in here, copy this. Let's first, I'm going to just do this quick and dirty. Hey, guy. Man, I hope there isn't some algorithm that's going to be like, hey, what is that? That would be terrible. Okay. Copy, yes. And then we need to invert this. Oh man, what is happening? There we go. Invert. Okay, now bring this up. And then there we go. Okay. So imagine if your thumbnail was like all of the guns here, right? We'll grab this one and we'll just we'll try and make it work even though the background's a little different. Can you imagine how like cool this would look? Like I find this super interesting. Oh man, it'd be so cool. I think it would be awesome to see this. And then when you click on any of those, oh, I just find it cool. Yeah, you really need to show wireframe was the other thing I wanted to say. But we've got a few more minutes here. I just wanted to look at this. So this is you're doing a work in progress. Click on any of them, get the weakling guy. So this looks pretty cool, and I'm curious. Like I'm looking at it, it's pretty. This is pretty detailed. This shows more of like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this guy's a generalist for sure. Because now you're showing you got props, you're doing storytelling, you're doing lighting, functionality of buildings, assets galore, right? This is all being broken down. You've got materials. You're thinking about these types of. This is way more robust than your thumbnail is implying. And I think you should do an interior separate of your exterior. You should have those as two separate posts. This one's super. This one's quite solid already. I really like this, that clock back there. So this all looks really good, and I think it's like taking your materials further and really storytelling the surfaces through roughness and like how the roughness is kind of broken up and where it's broken up. This stuff looks cool, and it just needs like this is an entire building, it looks like, with different spaces. These could all be separate posts. Those could all literally be separate posts with because you want asset breakdowns. Like when this is all done, I would take one of these scenes, make it done, or like do this exterior, finish it, post it, right? No whip in here, just it's done. Next scene, this space in here, like this lobby, and maybe like this is part of the lobby as well. Those together in one post, and then with a prop breakdown under it, materials, just going nuts with all that stuff. Because it'll really show off how your scene is being like how diverse your portfolio is afterwards, right? And it doesn't hide all of your stuff behind one thumbnail. The other thing to point out real quick is how these lights terminate into the ceiling. Just make sure they have some type of cap that really kind of shows that it's connected. I'm actually doing an 80 level breakdown of this. So this is done then. Is this done? That's awesome that you're doing an article as well, because articles are great for more exposure, right? Just remember how you're presenting yourself here and how much work is actually here. And then the things that you need are like wireframes, breakdowns of the materials, and just how everything is being put together. That way we understand more about what's here and what you've done instead of just these thumbnails. There's more here, right? So keep that in mind. And yeah, AgeLink, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, you could make 2 different posts, maybe even 3, given this piece. Post this in the chat here. But cool. Hopefully that was helpful. And we're gonna jump into the next review. You could do salad. You could do salad. You could do 3 posts for sure. All right.